Okay, I'm live apparently.
Um, it's just oh wait,
Oh,
there we go. It started like a
okay,
oh
wonderful. Okay, and I actually using to turn that off.
oh yeah,
Okay,
it's definitely live. Ooh yeah, your whole stream thing looks pretty fancy.
yeah. On this stream, is my voice sounding alright?
Oh, let me just check it real quick. Uh,
Yeah, so I'm just testing stuff out at the moment because it's my first live. Just want to make sure everything's coming through alright.
voices sound fine. I was literally like I could hear both you and like stream you talking at the same time, so it was like throwing me off for a sec.
Yeah,
but
not too loud, am I?
yeah, not too loud. Nah, it sounds too fine. It sounds fine from what I could gather.
Okay.
Um,
So are you watching the stream? Because I actually got some more graphics. Actually, so I guess my introduction to this first stream is I actually spent the last few days creating some graphics I'm actually pretty proud of.
all
So
right, let's check them out.
yeah,
Yeah, that's them then.
yeah. Oh, Dan, do you want me to send you the link as well?
Yes, yeah. What you want?
Yeah, because I'm actually quite proud, and I actually want to.
Sure, yeah.
So let me know when you got the stream open.
I've just noticed the name of the stream, and it's made me a little bit excited on what we're potentially going to be talking about because
Yeah, we've only got Dan for a little bit, so I think this might be an interesting thing to talk about. Um,
yeah.
yeah. So Dan,
Oh, that's weird.
are you hearing double?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I've
yeah,
muted the
it.
stream now, but
Yeah, so have
I've
I
just got it
on my little
open for
laptop.
like
Mm.
Cool. So my first little thing which I worked on is this. If that's it should
might
pop
just
up in a
have
sec.
to
Yeah,
yeah.
on a little bit of a delay.
Give me a I've still got just a bit
There
of
we
like a
go.
lingering cough, but it's not popped up on mine yet, but hopefully that'll change any moment.
Yeah.
Still just got the
Ah, there we
moon
go.
sound.
Ooh,
Yeah.
very fancy.
Yeah, that's all custom, which is I'm very
Oh,
proud of.
so you did
Ah,
the moon sounds, did you?
Yeah, the arrows is just like a sticker, like just like random one on CapCut, but I did the rotation and like the effects. Like it's
I
simple,
mean,
but like
yeah,
I'm actually pretty happy with
yeah,
it.
it's good. I mean,
ah.
honestly, I was thinking it's just like some YouTube default or something, but yeah, it does look good.
Yeah.
Yeah, looks
Perfect.
professional.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so I got that on loop, and like the background is just like a free to use one I just found online, but I really like it, so I decided to use it.
Yeah,
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 it's a nice vibe.
Yeah,
very chill.
Feels very anime.
yeah. And the next one is the should come up in a sec, but this is going to be our little starting thing.
There's quite a delay, isn't there?
Yeah, that's something to fix later on, but
That's how it usually is with streams, sadly. Uh, especially if we're there we are. Ooh, that's clean.
yeah. And in a second, it'll come up with our little boxes.
Haha, yeah, I can see
Yeah, I can see.
there we are.
Yeah, the little profile pictures and everything.
Yeah, and just to move that across. And one sec. There we are. I can't do both apparently.
Uh,
Damn.
oh.
Oh well, I'll take away the visuals and I'll just do the little guys. Yeah, for another time. And I think I've got chat working as well. So
So yeah.
if you put message in chat, it should show up.
Let me just let me find like all right. Let's just put and maybe I'll hop up I'll pop up on the chat bit of the screen, hopefully.
Where are you?
Sorry, I'm drinking more water. I've got I've had a bit of a lingering cough, so
Yeah, there's a bit of a cold going around.
yeah. Well, I had a really bad cold last like couple weeks ago, like mid last month.
Yeah,
And I feel like I've basically recovered from the cold now, but it's just it's left like a lingering cough, so I just
sure.
it's not great. It's harder to talk. Like I've literally I think since probably since like getting COVID a couple years ago, I've had like just a lot of problems with my throat. I should
Yeah,
probably check at a doctor, but I just haven't.
yeah.
It feels
Probably.
like oh, yeah.
Yeah. Unfortunately, chat's not coming through. Oh well, that's something to fix next time.
Yeah. It's not that
Yeah,
important this time around.
Yeah.
I've still got it like open so I can react to it, and like
Yeah.
I assume you can as well.
Well, it's actually going surprisingly smoothly, more so than I was expecting. But yeah, so I guess we should probably jump into what I think we're talking about. I've recently made some very bad financial decisions. I wonder if you guys have.
Haven't
Oh,
we
yeah.
all?
Well, yes, exactly. That's just what I was about to say. Yeah,
Yeah. So
Amazon is a dangerous thing.
oh, not even Amazon. But who would like to share a story first? Because I think like both of you got a little inkling in the back of your minds.
I'll I'll pass because I don't know who's listening to me right now. But you guys go ahead.
Oh, fair enough.
Right. I'm currently I actually I was in London. I was in London yesterday. I've recently stocked up on Polaroids. Because well I have a Polaroid camera and I just stocked up on film. And I went up to London just to to actually get some mileage out of
Yeah, take some pictures.
yeah, actually just make sure that I'm using what I'm spending all my money on.
Sure.
And so I ended up being in London. First of all, train tickets suck. I'm just gonna say that right off the bat.
Oh yeah, for
They
sure.
are expensive.
I don't know if anyone else uses a train line a lot, but if you buy the wrong ticket and you try and get a refund, you still get charged with an admin fee that's like
Yeah.
usually like it's usually like a third of the actual price. So it's just
30% in it.
Yeah.
so yeah, so if you spend like 20 quid, you still have to spend like a fiver. So it just feels like you've just wasted cash. So
Yeah.
so I had a decent time, but I say I'm making bad financial decisions. I was gonna say I bought a new pair of trousers, and that doesn't feel really like a bad financial decision. I need trousers.
Yeah,
It's also on top of like, first of all, I've got the film. I've got a new phone that I'm paying off monthly. I bought a North Face jacket last month. Don't even get me started on my fucking analog pocket like Game Boy that I bought last year that ended up nearly financially wrecking me like completely.
I mean, these aren't that bad. I mean, my phone was a 3-year contract. I'm 1 year in. And that's,
I bought my
go on.
phone like specifically because I didn't really want to get one on contract and then be locked into paying it for years. So there was like a deal. I've got like one of those Samsung flip phones, and because it was on deal, I just like got it from Argos, and I'm just like paying it off over the course of the year. So
yeah, it's not
it's
too
not
bad.
terrible.
No, I'm an idiot. I went for the new iPhone. Well, it was a new iPhone when I bought it. It's not the new iPhone anymore.
There's a problem with new phones is they're not new for long. So I'm just
Yeah.
like I kind of think of it as you want to buy something that you know you're gonna stick with and it's gonna last.
Yeah, it was my philosophy is, buy the latest phone
Yeah, well, those
Used that
Smallville
for
comics on
3 years.
Oh, that was a
Flashback.
bit of a spoiler.
Ah,
Go on, Dan.
Yes, my philosophy is, just buy the latest phone, spend 3 years paying it off or whatever, and then once you finish paying it off, you can buy the next latest phone.
Yeah.
yeah.
My strategy is I don't think I've actually ever bought a phone. I've always just taken hand-me-downs from my family members.
Really?
Yeah, it's like I never really needed a phone. Like I never had many friends growing up, so or even any. So not having a phone didn't really bother me too much. And by the time that I actually did gain friends like you guys, Discord is way better.
Yeah, I was in quite a bit the same situation. For a long time growing up, I didn't have a phone. But to be fair, that was because I broke mine. I broke like 3 or 4 phones
I think
over the course of my school life.
I've always just had not really like hand-me-downs, but I've always just had like cheap phones. So I wouldn't really want to spend I wouldn't really want to go too far into the hundreds. So my first proper smartphone was just this little tiny one that could at least do YouTube and stuff. So I'd just sit and and just watch YouTube on my phone and stuff. And then I got I had an iPhone 4S, I think, which that one was a hand-me-down, and it had no storage, and I hated it, and I couldn't even play Pokemon Go because at the time everyone was on Pokemon Go, and I couldn't run it.
You had an iPhone 4 at the time people were playing Pokemon Go. That's 2016.
Yeah, literally. Well, it was a hand-me-down, and my old phone broke, so I think
yeah, go on.
I actually remember the battery on the other one enlarged, and I probably could have just bought a replacement for that, but it was easier just to I think my sister had the latest phone at the time, and I was like, you know what, I'll take the iPhone.
Yeah,
this is the first actual brand new phone I've got, to be honest.
Wow, I think the phone I've got now, £720. It's the first brand new phone that I've bought. I bought handsets from CEX and stuff like that, and then just paid for a SIM. But this is the first phone and it's been brand new.
Yeah, my phone's way out of date now. It's an old fucking Samsung, and it's over a decade old. It's my father recently upgraded his phone, so I'm waiting him to clear off all his data on the old phone. And that's the phone that I'm basically receiving as another hand-me-down has got the best camera on currently available on a phone. It's somehow.
Oh, wow. Really?
Yeah, because
what quality is it? How many megapixels?
I forget what it is, but I just know it's better than the new iPhone.
Oh yeah, the iPhones suck. They really do. The only reason I keep buying iPhones is because they look cool, and everything else I own is Apple, so I might as well.
Yeah, I don't. Oh,
and I was about to say my very first phone was I don't know if you guys know what I'm talking about. It was a orange phone.
Oh, it rings a bell.
Yeah, and it had a screen on the top half, and on the bottom half it had a flip keypad.
Yeah, I mean, I had a BlackBerry for a while.
I had a brick.
Not Nokia.
Yeah.
That's still probably around somewhere. But the reason I brought up...
I see. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
The reason I brought up bad financial decisions was, not recently, but for the last few months, I've unfortunately gotten into comics. I know I've talked about it briefly with you guys on the job. Just complaining.
They're expensive. You buy one, and then all of a sudden, you're 50, £100 deep.
Yeah, and me and my brother are subscribed to I think we got 15 ongoing series we're subscribed to at the moment because he got into them recently as well. And my most recent bad financial decision was put it up on the stream. So one of my favorite shows is Smallville, and for those who don't know, it's basically a show about Superman before he becomes Superman. It's fucking 10 seasons long.
It was Gotham before Gotham,
but good. That's the difference.
Yeah,
it was way better.
Way better.
But so Smallville ended in I think it's 2012 or 2011. But after 10 seasons, fucking long thing. I haven't even finished it yet. But they started releasing comic books as a continuation, and this
dear.
and it was super popular. It actually lasted like I think till 2015.
Mm.
And what I found on eBay the other day was the original run of Smallville, issues 1 to 19, plus 4 specials, for like 160 plus £10 postage.
Jesus Christ.
However, I was able to negotiate the guy down to 140, including postage. So I ended up paying.
That's not bad. That's not bad. So
Yeah.
you saved yourself 30 quid.
Yeah, and so I ended up paying about, because like it was 1 to 19 plus 4 specials plus 2 bonuses, and he gave me an extra thing he thought I might like because we were talking in eBay. So I ended up paying about just under £6 per comic, which ain't bad for something that's like a decade old and really hard to come by, because this stuff is really like there's like no one else selling this stuff online. I basically have the monopoly on this like selection of comics for Smallville, which I'm actually quite happy about.
I mean, yeah, £6 a comic it's fairly standard for your nowadays comics.
Well, I mean,
So
like it's only double retail comics now, so it's actually a really good deal. Like, and all first printing, which is really nice. And yeah, but like it's like I'm getting like with like DC, I'm like subscribed to Shazam and Superman, but like all my other stuff I'm subscribed to is like funnily enough independent stuff. Like I'm subscribed to Thundercats, the new Transformers, which is actually really good.
Yeah.
I also like the Evil Dead comic, which is going on for a little bit. A few more, which I'm just I'm forgetting off the top of my head. Oh, I'm subscribed to the new Space Ghost when that comes out.
Oh.
Yeah, there's
yeah,
it's a new Space Ghost comic, but it's actually going to be taking it seriously, which is like kind of interesting. So I just subscribed to it. It's like, why not? But yeah, see how it is.
Actually, it sounds fun.
Yeah, definitely needs to go through more, because they're just like piling up in my room currently. But speaking of comics, the next big comic thing is Deadpool 3. I know, and I want to get Dan's opinion, because we were talking about that in Discord a little bit.
Yeah,
I just want to get your opinion before we go.
So yeah, Deadpool. I love Deadpool, and obviously Wolverine. My favorite. It's like of all Marvel superheroes. I think Wolverine was going to be my second favorite after Iron Man. So I love Hugh Jackman as I've seen all the X-Men films. So the flipping, Hugh Jackman as Wolverine with Deadpool, I think that's going to be an absolute fucking banger.
And he's got the costume as well.
Wait.
Yeah.
He has the full comic book costume, and I think it's going to be an absolute fucking banger, and I cannot wait until it comes out.
Yeah, I was actually looking in Zeb's stream the other day, talking, and we were talking about it. But so Ryan Reynolds' company, I believe, is in charge of the production. So hopefully none of like the Marvel taint is gonna cover
the Disneyness of it. Yeah.
So hopefully it'll be like Guardians of the Galaxy 3, whereas like James Gunn's basically in charge.
Final say, yeah.
Yeah, because like Deadpool 3, even if it does like 800 mil, even if it makes $1 billion, it's not going to change like the next Marvel film. If it's like Captain America 4 without Steve Rogers and they're fighting some like random villain no one cares about, like it's not gonna make that any more money, especially since Deadpool's like the only movie coming out this year for Marvel.
Yeah, and everyone loves Deadpool as well as the classic, like anti-hero. Deadpool, I don't know what the numbers are, but Deadpool 1 and 2 really, really well.
Yeah, huge.
They weren't huge, but they did really well compared to their budget.
Yeah,
because I think the original Deadpool had a $65 million budget and made like $600 million in the box office.
I think at the time people were just really excited about having some like R-rated superhero films again.
Yeah,
as well.
That's the other thing as well. I love. It's the same with Logan as well.
Logan I love as well. Actually,
yeah, it's just the R-rated factor.
And, in fact, I was a little worried that like bringing as hyped as I am to like see Hugh Jackman back, I was a little worried that like bringing him back might soften just like Logan's ending a little.
That is a big concern that a lot of people do have.
But it's the price to pay to like get Hugh Jackman and Ryan Reynolds back on screen together as the characters.
Yeah,
because the chemistry they have both like off camera and both off film and like.
Yeah, and
I do agree. I mean, do we know whenabouts it's set? So presumably it'll be set before Logan.
Well, it's going to be
I
set
think
after Deadpool 2, and because it's like time travel because TVA,
Mm.
so it's going to be like
yeah,
jumping about. But yeah, like
because
Okay, it's
the
gonna be a
X-Men
bit weird,
timeline's
yeah.
already completely like
Oh yeah,
messy.
the X-Men timeline is fucked.
I
But then
mean,
also, like, Deadpool probably fucked it up even more in the ending of Deadpool 2, so...
well, I think we can say
I
Deadpool
mean,
2 is
you
just like
could reference,
non-canon. Like it's just like
yeah,
because like he's not even time traveling; he's dimension hopping, where he like kills himself reading the Green Lantern script. So like, we can just
Yeah.
like say that that's just like fun stuff. It doesn't actually matter because this is what I think the big difference between like like Deadpool and like something like She-Hulk. With like Deadpool, his ability to break the fourth wall doesn't aid him in the plot. Whereas, like in She-Hulk, the main conflict is solved by breaking the rules of the universe, and that's why it's just like a failure of like a concept. Whereas like with Deadpool, there's still like stakes because
yeah,
like the amount,
does it well,
yeah, because like
done really well, yeah.
I mean, I've not read I've not read Gwenpool, but isn't Gwenpool kind of like that concept done really well?
I'm
Of
not.
just, like,
I know of
boring.
Gwenpool, but like I'm just like I don't really care because I'm just not. I hate mantles and
Yeah,
like like with Marvel, mantles are like awful because like I'm gonna be honest, like something that's like stopping me from properly enjoying the Spider-Verse films is that I just don't like the concept of like alternate versions of the same character.
Mm.
But like with
I
like
think I like the idea if you're having like fun with it, because it kind of like encourages. I think as well, it kind of encourages people in a sense to like like one of the coolest things I think I've seen as a result of Spider-Man is just people creating their own like spider sonas and stuff.
yeah, but like
I think
And
that
so I
makes
like that, but I
when
also kind of understand where you're coming from.
like
And
the Spider-Man was it Across the Spider-Verse. I thought that was done. When you have all these individual like when it's like a copy paste, then it's not so great. But when they each have their unique personalities, like Spider Punk and I can't remember what the rest of them are called.
yeah, like they're
But
very different people like under the mask.
yeah,
But,
and
like
yeah,
I think Across the Spider-Verse
with like the
is
same sort of
way
values,
better.
I guess.
Mm,
I guess I'm just not. It's just like something that like prevents me from like enjoying it. Like for example, with DC at least they used to do it really well because what they did is they had an original hero, and if they wanted like a new guy, then the old one like dies. For example, like Barry Allen dies in Crisis in like the 80s, right? In a big event,
mm.
and then Wally West, his like Kid Flash at the time, his sidekick, becomes the Flash, and he was the Flash for 20 years. And now there's an event called Rebirth, and like they basically brought back like Wally and Barry both exist at the same time, and now it's fucking confusing because you got the main Flash book, right? Because my brother's collecting Flash. That is the Flash book. Wally is the main character. However, he's also like a main character in like the Teen Titans book, and Barry's just floating around somewhere, and it's just like I just find it like really annoying to have
It does
multiple.
get confusing when you have multiple, like I said, when it's carbon copies of the same character, just with slightly different personalities. Then it does get very confusing.
It's just
I do agree with you on
yeah.
that.
I mean, it's just like if you have like if Miles Morales is introduced to the MCU, you can't call them both Spider-Man because that's fucking confusing. That's why
I mean,
like
they kind of do that in the game.
no,
Like, there's just two
don't.
Spider-Men now, and like people.
Yeah, but what like
It's
even
like
on
the
the
Spider Squad.
yeah, I just wish like Miles had like a differentiated name because like in Spider-Verse, all the other Spider people have unique names because there's Spider-Man India, Spider-Punk, Miguel 2099. They have like subtitles. Miles doesn't, and that's what's like if he had one,
Well,
it
I
would
think
solve a lot of my issues.
I think it's because like it's kind of in part because on his Earth he is the only Spider-Man now as well because Peter's dead. So
Well, I mean, like in the comics, for the last like 10 years, he's been in the main 616 universe. So there's been two Spider-Men like going concurrently. So that's like, so he's just like still Spider-Man, even though Peter Parker's still around.
Yeah, it does get confusing. Yeah,
And like, I'm just saying, like,
I'm gonna propose that Peter Parker is Spider-Man, and Miles is exaggerated Swagger Man.
Yeah.
Spider Boy, Spider Child,
Wait, no. Like,
Spider
I know,
Lane.
like, unironically, because like you have the Amazing Spectacular. If Miles was like the
if Miles had like his own title,
yeah, like
I guess. Yeah.
like unironically, like the exaggerated Spider-Man ain't a bad title.
The exaggerated Spider-Man. I feel like you'd probably get some complaints. But...
I mean, it's fucking funny. Plus, like, he's kind of exaggerated because like he has like so many like extra powers for some reason. Like,
have you ever?
Like the Venom thing in the game.
Have you ever read the Miles Morales Thor comic?
oh, I've seen images of that.
It's like the most racist thing I've like most borderline racist thing I've seen in my life. Like it's just so.
You know how like Dan, you know how like Thor goes like by Odin's beard.
Yeah.
Well, like in this comic, like Miles is like Thor, and his like battle cry is like by Odin's fade.
Bruh.
Like it's
By Odin's fade.
Yeah.
Bruh.
It's just like it's just so cringe. But I just hope so like the MCU now has like every core hero from the original Avengers has like a replacement. And
yeah, there's none of the original 6 anymore. They're all either being killed off.
well, the only one that's left is like Thor, but like he's kind of been like tarnished by Love and Thunder. Hulk's like ruined. Hawkeye is around, but yeah, he's around, but like he's being replaced in real time. And like Joe Moreno had like the big injury, so like he might not. He said he wants to come back, but yeah, you never know.
When they got hired, they were only contracted for until Endgame or whatever. So then after then, they probably. To be fair, if you spend 15 years of your life or especially RDJ, 15 years making Marvel films, you probably had enough after that. You just want to go and do something else.
I mean that's fair, but like I don't have a problem with like Tony dying in Endgame, but like they just didn't have.
I thought that was. Yeah.
Go on. I guess I'll.
Wait, who's talking?
Okay.
Yeah, Ethan, you go.
Okay, yeah, I'll just finish my thought. No, I don't mind like Tony dying in Endgame, but I think the biggest missed opportunity or the biggest mistake was having Cap also like retire at the same time, because now like because like Black Widow's dead, Tony's dead, Steve is like old and somewhere, Hulk is ruined, Thor was like ruined before like by Endgame, and like Hawkeye is the only like core Avenger left that actually has some relevance, but like he's now like Hawkeye wasn't a good series. It's just like every old character's either been like ruined or like misused. So like now, like the next Avengers film is gonna be Secret Wars, and like the lineup isn't gonna be any of the Avengers or any of the new characters they've created. The lineup is gonna be fucking Tobey Maguire Spider-Man, Ryan Reynolds Deadpool, Hugh Jackman's Wolverine, maybe Doctor Strange, and like probably one of the Fantastic Four members, and that's going to be like the new Avengers lineup. Yeah. Because like,
I really hope that's not what they do. But
I mean, like, what would you prefer?
Well, that just reads as like
they failed.
That just reads as like being it reads as they failed. It reads like we can't give you any compelling characters, so we're just gonna throw in all of like the fan servicey like multiverse shit, which. Like, in something like Deadpool 3, like, I'm genuinely excited for that, but that's because Deadpool 3 is going to be, like, a fun standalone movie. When it's the actual, like, you know, when it's the actual, like this was the problem I had with Doctor Strange, is, like, when it's the actual, like...
Smartest man alive.
Like Doctor Strange could have been like a really interesting, dark sort of like multiverse horror movie or something. Like that's kind of what I thought it was going to be before.
But then they had to introduce like America Chavez, and I was like, who fucking cares?
Yeah, and it was just like like the Illuminati was just there just to give like some quick fan service, but then just kill them all off in 3 seconds, and it's just
in the worst way possible.
Yeah, like literally. Like I think I've said this probably on like one of the like previous podcasts or something, but I feel like a lot of kids watch these Marvel movies, and so for a lot of those kids, because it's been so long since we've had any kind of like Fantastic Four movie in like the excuse me, in like the main cultural sphere, I guess, like there was just like a lot of kids. That's going to be their first introduction to Mr. Fantastic. Is he says he's the smartest man alive. He gets his mate's brains blown up and then gets turned into spaghetti, and that's him. That's
and like Professor X dies in like the mind in like the like mental like battle.
Yeah,
it's like he's supposed to be like the most powerful like psychic on Earth, and like Wanda beats him on his own game. It's just It's like I don't think anyone would have been like mad about that if like instead of using these characters people like is if you use like I guess bring back like the Fantastic cast and like I guess like the Dark Phoenix cast, like the ones that like people hate, and then you can kill the ones that people hate.
Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah, you should keep the ones alive that people like. Like everyone liked what's his face, Patrick Stewart as Mr. X,
Professor X,
Professor X even, and yeah, they just like you said, they killed him off. He has, in fact, in Logan, he just uses his mind and he basically pauses everyone because he's having his
like seizures,
dementia. Yeah, exactly. And then you got that sheer amount of power, and then Wanda is just like nope, and just kills him. And it was very poorly done.
Yeah, well, I mean, hopefully Deadpool 3 does like do it better, because like I've heard some rumors of some cameos is going to happen. I'm not going to spoil them here in case you guys don't want to be spoiled, but
I already know some of them too.
Well, don't say them because I don't know.
I won't say them, but I just if it's not too much of a spoiler, I've heard rumors that they might return to that universe, but obviously we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, well, I mean, like it's yeah, go on.
No, I was going to start a new subject, so go on.
Oh, well, I was going to say like it's a wait and see kind of thing. It's like I'm cautiously optimistic, but like I don't have the utmost of faith with Marvel at the moment.
Yeah.
Like we said, with but purely based on Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman's energy and chemistry, that it should be good just based off that. The fact that you've got two actors that can't seem to miss. Should be good. Oh, I just found a meme. With Deadpool and Wolverine for Deadpool 3. Lovely. Everyone's listening to me. But yeah, no, I think like you said, I think I am also cautiously optimistic. I'm well aware of how Disney has just been fucking up things left, right, and center. But I think the Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman both likely to be producers in the movie as well.
Yeah.
It should be good. It should be good.
Yeah. What new topics do you want to start?
You know what? I have forgotten.
Oh.
No.
Oh yeah, I remember. It was in the Doctor Strange, the new one. I think what's the America was just the stupidest introduction ever. The fact he makes star-shaped portals. It was one of the worst characters I think that's ever been introduced. Was she an original character from the comics?
Yeah, she's only like 10 years old in the comics, so she's very, very new. So they skipped all over. Like, she skipped like 80 years. 80 years of Doctor Strange history to bring us like America Chavez, and like I'm a person who thinks like it's all about execution. Like there are no bad ideas, but like I feel like they could have done like anything else and it would have been better. It was like something I wanted to see was like if we had like a Doctor Strange film where like Wanda was like just have the same plot, however just don't have America. It's like Wanda can do it on her own. And then we get to see like more than just like red is green and pizza comes in the form of balls in terms of universes. Like imagine if they like Doctor Strange and like Wong or whatever psychic he brings gets like trapped in the universe and it ends up and like it's like a dark like forest area. Doctor Strange is like walking along and then we pan and it's the cabin from Evil Dead. And then we have
as far as cameos go, that would have been actually wild.
Because Bruce Campbell's already in the film. Just have him dress up as as Ash Williams, and just fucking have Ash Williams on an adventure with Doctor Strange. Because like I know he has the rights, and I think that would be sick. Because I love Ash vs Evil Dead. Like the series is so fucking good, and it's a shame that we're not getting more. Like there might be an animated sequel series, but that's like there's been no news on it. I mean, it seems like a missed opportunity, especially with like. what was going on. It's like if there's anyone who has more experience with like going through alternate timelines and alternate dimensions, it's fucking Ash Williams.
I mean, I always thought that the idea that they were like setting up before like the film obviously came out, I thought like the idea they were setting up was like Nightmare and Mordo and all that kind of stuff. And I thought having on paper, I also feel like having Wanda as like the villain was an interesting idea, but I just didn't like.
She had good motives and stuff, obviously. Cause,
Yeah.
Well, I mean, no, she didn't. She wanted like 2 kids and killed like thousands to achieve it.
Yeah, but if you put yourself in Wanda's shoes, she would have done anything for her kids, you know. And that it was a good motive in that sense. She wanted her kids more than, and she was willing to destroy the entire reality to get her kids. And I think that was good from a story point of view.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it could have been like done better. It's like I won't say it was like objectively bad, but like I'm just like skeptical of how you could make that like because by then, like it just seems like too much, and like Vision wasn't even mentioned, and like I feel like that's just a bit weird.
Yeah, it was a bit. It was like you said, the execution wasn't great. The idea was good, the story was good, but the execution just fell through. I think that's just what's happening with a lot of Marvel stuff now. Disney just spitting them out one after the other, quick cash grabs, and none of them are particularly good. They're doing the same thing with Star Wars as well, and they're just chucking out new TV shows again and again and again. And none of them are half as good as the Clone Wars, which came out in 2008.
I mean, Andor was good.
Yeah, Andor.
I haven't seen Andor yet because
watch Andor.
Because I don't want to watch a show where the main character doesn't have a lightsaber.
That's valid, but
I mean,
like,
but I get it, but I mean, I'm gonna have the position that's very shallow. Like,
yeah, it is. It's very shallow.
Yeah, like a Star Wars
I can understand wanting to watch Star Wars for like Star Wars, like the lightsabers and all that kind of stuff. But I just think Andor's great because it just stands as its own as like a great show.
Yeah. I mean, like Andor would be like paraded as like the best thing ever if like Andor carried a lightsaber with him, and if that's the only change that they made, it would instantly be the best received Star Wars show.
I mean, Andor,
Loki, I think that would have ruined the whole show if like Andor was just a Jedi. But...
No, not a Jedi. He just has a lightsaber and he uses it like twice in the show. It still would have been like to be the best.
Yeah.
But
like he's the dude from Rogue One, isn't he?
Yeah,
so
Andor as a character is the weakest part of the show. Like the older supporting cast and like the different arcs are what is really good about it. But like it's not bad. It's just could have been more interesting.
I think it was kind of partly the point in a sense, because his sort of development is he does 100% develop as a character as the show goes on.
I'm not saying he doesn't. I'm just saying that like he's not a very charismatic guy.
Yeah, but I think part of the point is that he sort of inadvertently ends up inspiring a lot more other people into like furthering their beliefs who are like kind of more charismatic as characters, like Kino Loy. Everyone knows Kino Loy. Why have I forgot the actor? Andy Serkis.
Yes.
Like his character was just great, and I think just all these like characters are just completely expendable randos in like the Star Wars galaxy. Like it's not about any of these like fan favorites, and so you don't have to get excited about like, my fan favorite like Glupshito is going to show up next episode or something. It just puts all of its focus into telling a really good story in that universe. And don't get me wrong, I liked the Glupshito shit as well, but I think that there's just a bit too much over reliance on it now.
Well, I mean,
I can see it from that point of view. I can. The thing is it's when I watched the Mandalorian, right? It was whenever it came out years ago, or whatever. I watched the first 2 seasons.
2020, I think, was it first released.
Yeah, and it was just so.
No, it was 2019. It released before Rise of Skywalker.
Yeah, it was a while ago, and it was just so dull and so boring. And
I know, I agree completely. That's a hot take.
Oh,
yeah.
I disagree. But I'll let you continue for now.
But I mean, if you're both saying that Andor was good, I'll probably give it a try. But
It's not
yeah.
for everyone. But
Like
yeah,
you have to at least give it 3 episodes. That's the thing.
episodes.
Yeah, that's when the first like arc is sorted out.
Sure.
think Game
I
of
mean-
Thrones in Star Wars. That's like
I
the
do love
most
Game of Thrones.
basic. That's like the most basic description I can give.
Mm. I mean, it's like for me, Star Wars. I'm a huge Star Wars fan. So it's like growing up, there was the prequels and the originals, and
Yeah.
then the Clone Wars show. It was all about the Jedi and or the Rebellion or the Republic, the Separatists, and it was all of this. And every film had a cool lightsaber battle at the end, and it was all very action packed. There wasn't much of a dull moment. The reason I am not liking these TV shows, especially when the protagonist has only a blaster, because you get these long periods of unimportant dialogue, and the peak of the action is just a gunfight. And
Yeah.
instead of getting
Andor is very much that, I will warn you.
Well, I mean,
Uh,
I guess I would like
instead of
counter.
getting these meticulously crafted lightsaber duels, like at the end of number 3 or the end of number 1,
Mm.
you just sort of get a gunfight, and that's just it.
Yeah, no, I get what you're saying, but like I guess my issue is like even like the action in the modern shows aren't even that good. Like Ahsoka has the most lightsabers at any show, but it's probably like one of the worst, and like the action is really bad. It's like the best.
Yeah,
the best.
no, I agree, and it's the lightsaber combat itself was really poor, because when they did the prequels, and they hired actual swordmen and martial arts experts.
I mean, like speaking of that, the only exception to like the bad like combat is when Anakin shows up in the World Between Worlds. Like you can just tell the difference between how good I forget his actor's name. How good Hayden Christensen is at the action, and like how bad Rosario Dawson is in responding to him.
Yeah,
because he hasn't lost a beat in that fight.
Hayden Christian was an insanely good choice.
I quite liked the Ahsoka episode of Mando, to be honest.
I thought it was kind of boring.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like that was just what I thought. In fact, that's one thing I will say. I'm gonna be, because even then, like I don't think like Mando, I think has like fallen off so hard in my opinion. But I will be like the Mando defender for this for this episode of the pod, I guess.
You excited for Mando and Grogu the movie?
Not at all. Mando season 3 killed off all of my interests. Like I'm telling you.
Yeah.
But,
Before we go on anymore, Dan, do you have to head out, or are you able to stay with us?
Yeah, I probably have to go now. To be fair.
Cool. Well, no, no problem. It was like really nice having you back.
Having you on.
I'll be in the next one, and this time I will try and remember so I can, be in order.
What day?
We'll pester you.
Yeah. What day you free? How about like next Sunday?
Yeah, next Sunday I'm usually free on Sundays.
Cool.
Today was grandparents and all that.
Okay. Yeah. So Zeb, are you free next Sunday?
Yeah. I don't think I have anything planned. So
cool. Well, it'll be nice. It'll be the 3 of us next Sunday. And well, thanks for joining us. It's been like nice catching up and talking.
It's been great talking to you guys. I'll see you next Sunday then.
I'll see you next Sunday. Like,
all right.
Have fun.
Peace out.
Bye. That was nice.
Right.
It's been a while
since
since
we again. Oh, yeah.
I think we kind of like crescendoed on like the Star Wars thing. To be fair.
Yeah. I was gonna say with Mando, what was it? Yeah, the thing I wanted to actually say with like Mando, like the point was I thought because season 2 I ended up feeling like it pivoted a little and became very like heavy on, it felt like a bunch of pilots essentially, and I still quite liked it at the time, and I still quite like it now, to be honest. I've not watched it, but but the main thing I realized looking back was that the episodes that introduced characters like Ahsoka and Boba Fett did them so much more justice than their actual shows did.
Yeah.
Like my man Boba Fett, what happened? What happened to you, man?
Yeah. I'm just not surprised anymore. It's like you can't even get mad about it
Yeah.
anymore. But
I don't actually think
Yeah.
we've talked about the Acolyte since
yeah, the Acolyte.
since the trailer came out.
Yeah, I mean, there's lots of lightsabers. That's it.
Yeah, that's the thing. There's not much to talk about because it's just. To be fair, I can make some things to talk about because I watched the trailer and I was like for the first like couple minutes of like having watched it, I was kind of like coping because I was like, you know, I like the idea on paper of just giving us like a blank slate and saying, right, we're just gonna direct something that's a bit more fresh, that's got none of these recognizable characters again, much like Andor, but is also in a completely separate, you know, part of the timeline. But then I just like the fight choreography or like
The lack thereof.
yeah, lack thereof basically. Just left so much to be desired. And then you have that bit at the end where there's like 20 Jedi with like 20 lightsabers or something. And they literally just show like one shot of them lighting up their lightsabers, then like one shot of them getting blown back, and I was just like, it just gives me very insecure vibes. Like they're not really that secure on their lightsaber choreography or like actual fights. So they're trying to avoid showing as much as they can, and who knows? Maybe it'll come out, and maybe it'll be like the best Star Wars show we've ever gotten. But I
mean, doubtful.
don't trust them. Yeah.
Yeah, but
In fact, actually, sorry, I have another point to
go
make.
on. No worries.
When I watched it, and then I think I was sat with my dad, and we were watching like a couple like theory videos or something, just to kind of like a couple like trailer breakdowns and stuff. And I started kind of writing or like coming up with like stories in my head of like, oh, you know, this is what the plot could be, and this could actually be really interesting. And I thought to myself, but the problem is, now that I've like put this in my head, I'm like, that sounds really cool, and I don't see them actually doing that in the actual show, because you know, chances are, particularly with like a Disney thing, you know, I'm kind of like, the safest option is always going to be like the easiest option. So I'm like, okay, you've got the character of like the Acolyte or something, and she's like a Sith trainee or something. And so in my head, I'm kind of thinking, wouldn't it be cool to have just a show with like a villain protagonist, you know? And, you know, the end result of that series is that maybe the character ends up regretting some of their actions, but they still stick to their guns and stuff. Whereas I reckon, you know, 90% sure there'll be some kind of like turn at the end, and she'll be like, oh, actually, I was misguided, and now I'm one of the good guys.
Yeah, maybe, but that's like the most basic counter they can do for this kind of thing. I'm just like not invested at all. I don't even think I'll watch Acolyte. It's like I didn't watch the last what was the last Star Wars thing? Was it Mando 3?
I think it was
Oh yeah, it was Ahsoka. Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, what's Ahsoka?
Nah, I'm just.
Yeah.
I think Acolyte. It's just. I kind of agree. I'm just really uninvested. I feel like I wanted. I feel like the idea of just a show on paper is a great idea.
I mean, it's like the Sith coming out of hiding like 100 years before the Phantom Menace. Is that really?
Yeah.
Is that really such a grand idea?
I mean, not really, but like I said, it's just something a little different, you know. Like it's not relying on recognizable characters like I think the main shows, the Ahsokas and the Mandos, have kind of started to.
Guaranteed Yoda's going to show up, so I don't know if that's going to be true.
I mean, I kind of hope not, but I full well like expect like that would just be a fucking. I actually remember reading this tweet.
Because the Plagueis is
I
going
can't
to be in,
remember
isn't
when I saw it. Okay. Now it's just starting to sound like bad in my head. I feel like I'm still like the more we talk about this.
Yeah. I could be wrong. I think I heard somewhere that Plagueis is going to be in it, because this would be like the right time for him to be there, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I already lost like most of my interest after like the actual trailer dropped. But I feel like the more we talk about this and the more like you bring up potential Glup Shitto cameos, the more interest I lose
Yeah.
in.
Well, I mean, that's why, like in the reverse of this, that's why, like, I'm really excited for like the new Superman movie, because everything that we've gotten from that seems like it's like on the right track.
Yeah,
Because like,
it feels like it's everything it needs to be from what they've like shown so far.
and like, there's going to be like a lot of characters in there. Like we got like basically a proto Justice Society or proto Justice League with four heroes: Mr. Terrific, Green Lantern, Hawk Girl, and Metamorpho. But,
yeah.
And the Engineer. But like, I don't know, I feel like I have faith that it's gonna be doing all right, because most of this is coming from the casting. I'm very impressed with the casting. And I think I've mentioned this before, but I do like hope it's good. And we've like seen some like leaked images of what the suit might look like, and it's definitely going to be a lot brighter.
Not seen those yet, but
they're floating around. But I definitely think it's a. I definitely have hope, but like I wouldn't be too surprised if it turns out to be bad. But like I just have faith that the pendulum is swinging a bit. But
I'm excited. I'm excited. I'm kind of like, because I'm not like a huge Superman guy, but I would like love to just see a really good Superman movie, because I think we kind of need that. I in terms of like superhero movies, like we're definitely in like the dark ages of superhero just media
like,
at the moment.
At least when like Marvel was good, at least when DC was bad, Marvel was good. But now we can't afford to have both be bad.
Yeah, literally. And I think that the idea of having a more
traditional,
a more traditional, and I think a more like optimistic Superman I like on paper, because as well I think it contrasts what like I've always thought like a super dark Superman against a super dark Batman, like what really
defeats the point.
Get out of that. It feels it defeats the point. Yeah, like I really liked Henry Cavill actually as Superman, and I really liked Man of Steel for the longest time as well. But I feel like just in terms of what they're going for now, and I think in terms of like like Batman exists. I've always thought Batman exists in a very sort of darker, grittier like world, like Gotham is like a crime infested city, whereas like Metropolis is the complete opposite of that. It's like the
bad things that happen in Metropolis is like all like the superpowered metahumans and stuff, and like accidents and stuff, and so I'm with Batman. I'm actually quite okay with the lighter interpretations. I feel like Batman is like very versatile.
But, I agree 100%. But I just mean like as a kind of like typical Batman. Usually people think of like the darker, grittier stuff of Batman.
Yeah, but like, the problem is like I don't think we've had a accurate portrayal of Batman in live action before. I think like every single one has issues that don't like stray away from them being perfect. If you know what I mean.
Yeah, I feel like if you ask me, I don't think there's excluding Kevin Conroy, rest in peace, because if you ask me, he was the definitive Batman. But in terms of live action, in terms of live action, I feel like Ben Affleck's was the one where I looked at him and thought he looks the most like how I picture Batman, but acts the least like him.
Yeah.
And I thought...
I think... sorry to interrupt, but I think my perfect Batman would be something like... has the look of Affleck, but with the personality of Adam West. Because I like bright Batman.
Kick-Ass?
I've seen. I wasn't that much of a fan. I don't like these subversion stories.
I'm just thinking of when you say he's got the personality of Adam West, I'm just thinking of Nick Cage in Kick-Ass. But nah, so for me, because I don't read comics religiously, but I've read I've read a couple. I read like The Dark Knight Returns. I read uh uh what else have I read? I want to say I might have started year one.
I was just about to say.
Yeah. Um Obviously like Matt Reeves is year two, but it's heavily inspired by like year one
Yeah.
as a novel. And I feel like Matt Reeves's film to me felt like the most of like what I think of when I think of like reading a Batman.
I agree. However, my biggest problem with the film is like the interpretation of the Riddler.
Yeah. See, I really liked the Riddler. I know he's like a bit different, but I still think he had the sort of core of the character
I
at
mean,
least.
I disagree. I was like, what do you think the Riddler's core motivation is, as like in general, like what it should be?
Um I mean, I don't really know because I've not read a lot of comics with the Riddler. I played like Arkham Asylum years ago. I think I've always kind of thought he's wanted to like best Batman with like his smarts in a way.
I mean, that's the thing. Like the Riddler's core motivation in almost every interpretation is he wants to prove that he is the smartest. He wants that. He wants not necessarily a challenge, but he wants to prove how much better he is than everyone else. But the problem with the Riddler in the Batman, that's not what he wants. He wants to take down the corrupt elite of Gotham.
Yeah,
However,
which I don't.
It's just,
I don't mind as continue.
No, I'm just saying, like, there's so many other characters that would fit that like modus operandi better, like Anarchy, for example. However, and like I guess the counter arguments to that would be they wanted a recognizable villain. However, my counter to that counter would be they didn't really lean into anything that made him the Riddler. So this is something I'm not a fan of.
I still think that at the end of the day, I don't really think they strayed as far from the core of the Riddler as like as you're saying. Like I kind of feel so his core motivation in the movie at its core was that he wanted to expose like Gotham's elite. And I don't necessarily think it's sort of keep in mind this is like year two Batman, year two Riddler, I guess.
This is like year one Riddler.
Yeah, this is like year one Riddler basically. So he's just sort of introduced himself into and he kind of like sees himself as like as he is essentially like a Batman copycat, but who's doing stuff very differently. But he's a masked vigilante who is trying to like expose and essentially just like slowly picking off the Gotham elite and stuff. But at his at the end of the day, he has his own sort of agenda, and I know like they kind of went more of like the like anarchist angle with him, but I think it's partly that they're finding like I think it's partly that he's like still finding himself as like a villain and stuff, and I think it's also partly the fact that like I do think at the end of the day when he realized that that like Batman wasn't his friend, like he started this whole like parasocial relationship with this like random masked dude, and when he realized that he wasn't his friend and he's actually just gonna like like when he gets that reality check, I do think there is like a part of him that is just kind of like he's not doing this. I think there is a part of him actually that's always kind of been a bit like in the movie that because of like his upbringing, he is kind of like he low-key sees himself as better than everyone. But
I mean, I get what you're saying. It's just like I don't like the idea that we have to spend the whole movie with the villain before he actually becomes the villain in the next movie. I'd rather than just be the villain in the main movie.
Yeah, I mean, I would say he was the villain. He was just a different interpretation of the villain, as in like he was like the Riddler, you know.
Yeah. I mean, I just
It's just that it's,
feel it's like too different. Like, I would have been more content if he just fucking wore a green suit. But like, they couldn't even do that. It's like the same problem with like Nolan films. Like Nolan didn't want any of the fantastical stuff to happen, and that's why I'm afraid of like the villains in the Batman 2, because they're just like all be super grounded and not fantastical.
I'm taking a very like a wait and see approach with the Batman 2, because I kind of do. I've discussed it with my dad a little, who's like a fan of because like from what he's read in comics and stuff, he's always been a bit of a fan of like classic Clayface, where he was just a guy in a mask.
Really?
Yeah, like unironically, he's whereas with you, obviously, and with a lot of fans, as I can see, you're like much more fans of the blobby Clayman, Clayface.
That's what makes me unique.
Which is the version I've also grown up with. I watched like the Batman cartoons and everything. I feel like personally the interpretation I want to see of like Clayface in a live action movie is something that finds like a perfect middle ground. So for instance, just as like a hypothetical, so he's still the whole like disgruntled actor. Perhaps he's like he's got like a sort of
grudge against the reboot or something to modernize it.
Huh?
Because the original thing with the Clayface story was like Basil Collar, the original Clayface. He was the original main actor in the play. However, when they redid the play, they didn't approach him to join in. So as revenge, he started killing all of the actors who were participating in the play. That's the original story.
Yeah, and I wouldn't go that route because I would find it I would find it, like a bit too. I think the problem is it would be a bit too similar to Riddler. Well, in the fact that he's a guy in a mask killing people, and it would.
But no, I get that part. But like, what I was trying to say was like in this one, like he could be like a big actor in the 80s, and now they're remaking a film, and they want nothing to do with him, even though he was only was a star of the original, and that's what drives his motivation to take revenge. But like throughout the course of that, he could like get his powers or something or other. But like I definitely think he has to have powers, and I just don't there's no. It's like
I think actually the point I wanted to make was more so I was thinking like perhaps he ends up like ruining his face, and he goes through the whole thing where he's got the whole like face products and stuff
from the animated series,
that end up making him all like malleable and stuff. But I think it's kind of finding, like, in my head, I would go a really like body horror route with it. Like, I wouldn't necessarily want him to. At least I wouldn't want him to be like a giant clay monster until like the final third of the movie, where he's just like, I don't know, ended up becoming like submerged with this stuff, or he's become so addicted to it that he's just like turned himself into like this creature. And I think that would be the perfect way of not kind of stepping over the like the grounded base that they've set for the new universe, while still introducing the fantastical elements.
Yeah. No, I'm completely fine with that. Like, if the story is like that he's rejected from like the new movie, he gets this treatment. Like, if he's like shifting his face around and like basically being a chameleon throughout the majority of the film, I'm completely fine with that. But then in like in the third act, he like mutates properly.
Yeah,
that's what like I think that's like the simple thing to do, and it's like what most people want, and I think that's what they should do. But I feel like Reed's going to be want to do something subversive, and then he's not going to give us what we want, and what he's going to give us instead isn't going to be on the same level as what we wanted.
Yeah, I mean, we'll wait and see. Like we kind of said, Batman is very reinterpretable, and I like all different versions. Like, I love like classic Adam West Batman. I love like I really like the Dark Knight. I'm not as huge on like the Nolan trilogy as a whole, but
Yeah.
like The Dark Knight is a movie I love. Already I feel like Reeves is one, even if it's still quite grounded, it still feels closer to the core of what I think of when I think of Batman than like the Nolan trilogy did. And plus we're getting another Batman anyway, who's probably going to be, who is going to was going to have to exist in a more
Fantastical world.
universe.
Yeah, but then we got the problem that like he's going to start off with Damien, and then I guess it's all about execution again. But I don't know. But
I mean, I'll
that's all just wait and see. We don't even know yet.
Yeah, we'll have to wait and see, and like at least it means that they probably don't want to be spending years setting up like each different Robin and stuff.
I mean, I'd rather they do that
at the beginning. Yeah, which I think would be cool, but it's just like they probably want to like have like fairly early on, I guess, be able to like have. So, for instance, have like Dick around as Nightwing, so that if they wanted to do a Nightwing movie or something, or a Titans movie or something, like they could do something like that.
Yeah, but I just wish they took their time. So, if you can't think of any like good ideas for a story with like Dick Grayson as Robin, and I have no idea what you should be working on like anything really. If you can't think of a good idea,
yeah.
But,
I mean, there's talk that the Batman Part 2 might actually introduce like Dick Grayson. Like as an actual kid as well.
I mean, hopefully, but like you never know. Something I did want to talk to you about was our last video got 200 plus views.
Oh, I think I saw your message. Actually, my Discord usually doesn't give me notifications, but I think I did spot it. And yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's better than all our previous podcasts combined.
Yeah, I kind of wish that if any was going to get 200 views, it would be a different one, because I felt like my commentary, I was like half brain dead when we were watching the Avatar. I was like half brain dead, and I was like juggling between like trying to watch the show and also like trying to have meaningful discussion. But nah.
I mean, I think it turned out well, and like got 2 subscribers from it as well.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, so like some natural growth. So definitely happy with that. I guess I might as well ask a question now. Would you be down to do a second one?
Ooh, maybe. Yeah, I'll have to think. It depends when I'm free next.
Yeah, because like because we got the got this next week on Sunday. Maybe sometime during the week if like you got like a free hour.
Yeah. I'll keep you posted. Posted.
Because we'll only do like one at a time instead of like doing 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll just watch the proper one. But yeah, I'm really happy with that growth. So even if it's very small, now I just got to follow up with like my main ones. So I got some scripts. I got a finished script. I need to work on some more. But I'm hoping to like start like properly producing.
Yeah. Nah, that's all good. That's all good. I actually need to drop videos on my channel.
Yeah, it's like the discovery on Twitch is like awful.
Yeah, literally. I've tried, and usually I think I've only had like 1 or 2 times that someone's actually come into like my stream and like actually messaged something meaningful. That wasn't like a friend. A lot of the time I'm like 90% sure I get people who like pop in. They just say like, "Oh, follow my Discord," or yeah, and then just like,
I've seen that.
I don't even know how to respond to that because I don't want to be mean, but like, I'm also just like, "Why are you here? Like, are you even watching the stream? Have you like long gone onto like another stream just to self-advertise?" So I'm thinking I'd like to do some YouTube videos and maybe kind of like branch that between that and my Twitch.
Yeah, just because like discoverability is so much better on YouTube, and then you can also attract people to streams, or maybe try. I guess
it's just finding topics I like talking about that I can kind of talk about on YouTube.
Yeah, I guess the idea phase is the hardest.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, but like definitely go for it. Like you're back streaming though. I can't remember if you did you schedule your stream for later on?
I did. Really, it just depends how I'm feeling later today. I want to try. I want to at least like try. Um, but I might just do like a shorter stream today, just to kind of like chill and chat for a bit.
Yeah. Fair. Well, in terms of our little stream today, I think unless there's anything else you want to talk about, I think we can wrap it
I
up.
think we like covered most of the points. I can't think of much else to talk about that isn't like really retreading.
Yeah. I mean, like a short one ain't awful. This is like the first live one, so
Yeah. We can do like more live ones more often as we go along as well. Like
and I
when we
think I
get-
want to definitely try and do them like all live from now on. And
Yeah,
because the plan is for me to live on the main channel, and then unlist that, and then upload it to like the podcast channel.
yeah. It's a good idea actually.
Yeah, because like if I could build an audience on YouTube, I'm basically priming them to look at the streams.
Hmm.
Yeah, actually, something else that I did was I think I got like donation alerts working, but I'm gonna have to like game test that at some point
Ah, nice.
because I got stream elements linked, and I got TTS active, so I'm gonna definitely
awesome.
want to test it out. I might test it out next time. I might get my brother to like send me a quiz to see if it works. But I definitely want to get chat working for next time.
Nah, definitely.
No, I don't. Like, definitely. I think you should have like chat appear on the screen.
Oh, 100%. I've been planning to. I just get really lazy because I have like my work weeks, and like when I'm done with work, I'm just like I just want to lie down. But I also just keep like I need to actually have like chat elements and like an actual actual just like visuals, like actual
like your PNG
like,
tuber on there as well.
Yeah. Like I want like a layout, and
I mean,
like,
that one-
I think I'm gonna redraw the little
Yeah.
PNG tuber I had.
I mean the like the PNG is like that's like easy. It's literally just like an image that you can just add to your scenes. But
It's
yeah,
it's
so
quite simple, quite like straightforward. I just need to I need to it's quite tricky because I don't have Photoshop on my computer as well, and I kind of like want Photoshop so I can I want Photoshop so I can what's it yeah, so I can just like create my own sort of streaming visuals and
like,
stuff from
your own
scratch.
graphics. Yeah, I use Photoshop. That's how I made all these overlays.
Yeah, I think my mum's got it, so maybe I might just might just steal her computer for a little bit and
Yeah, well, I got your links in the description on this stream. I got your YouTube and Twitch. Not that you post to YouTube.
Yeah, I'll start planning. You know what? I could honestly, if I wanted to, instead of like doing a stream tonight, I could just record my like my intended sort of YouTube video thing that I had planned because
Yeah, I find recording is like the hardest thing to start.
yeah,
So I've had my script done for ages. I just haven't.
Yeah, it was funny. I
Started it.
spent ages writing a script for a video and I ended up scrapping the whole thing, but I wanted to do like a video that was like similar to that project. But it's just gonna be that it's just that I'm just gonna put like some footnotes and I'm just gonna literally talk to myself for like 10 minutes or something and just edit it down. I think that might just be a nice way to start,
Yeah. Well, definitely good luck to you on that. But I think with that, I think we just shut off. I think.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah. So, any last words before I end stream?
Yeah. Thanks for tuning in. Anyone who might have actually tuned in, I have no clue. And yeah, this is the first live podcast of many. So
Hopefully.
yeah, fingers crossed. So yeah, be seeing you next
Next week potentially.
Sunday. All right, let's go.